River and Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Straight ahead, we've got
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing our NFL record predictions for whatever week this is. You should be able to tell by the title. So yeah, last week I went 9-7, my dad went 8-8. I'm now up to 31-33, just 2 games below 500, and my dad is 28-36. And so yeah, let's get into the games. So obviously the first game, which played Thursday, is the Colts versus the Broncos, and I know this is currently being recorded on Sunday at 11:20, so it's before game time for all the rest of the games. But yeah, anyways, so it is after that game happened, but still, we made our predictions. Colts win versus the Broncos for me, and for my dad, the Colts lose versus the Broncos. So I automatically start up 1-0. I'll take it. Next up, we got the game currently playing right now, and that's the Giants versus the Packers. And man, the Giants have looked good. Daniel Jones has looked good. The team has been looking a lot better than expectations. I think they have lost their last 2 maybe, but they've still been playing good football, and I've really enjoyed watching them. And as for the Packers, I mean, they've been playing really well. Didn't have a great game against the Patriots. Gave up 24 points to Bailey Zappi. I mean, I don't know how that defense is looking there, Green Bay. And so I think I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to take the Giants winning against the Packers at home. At the Packers. And however, my dad is going to take the Packers at home versus the Giants. Next up, we got the Colts. Next up, we got the Lions versus the Patriots. And so, yeah. So, the Lions have been looking great. Offense has been absolutely insane. And Jared Goff is just like a beast. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Offense has been looking great. However, the defense has been looking terrible. Giving up like 30 points a game right now. And they're like 2-2 because of it. I mean, the Lions on offense are the best team in football. The Lions on defense are the worst team in football. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, my goodness. And then you got the Patriots, who have just not been looking great. I don't know if Bailey Zappi is going to be playing today or if it's going to be Brian Hoyer. But I'm really not sure. I haven't looked into it all that much. I'm pretty sure Mac Jones won't be playing. But, the Patriots haven't been looking great on either side of the football. I mean, they're like, what, 1-3 right now? I mean, they're not looking great. I think this is week 5. I'm not too positive on that, but haven't been looking amazing. And so with backup quarterbacks in, I trust in the Lions defense to come to the freaking New England and pull out a W. I'm trusting in the Lions here, bro. Okay, Lions win versus the Patriots at Boston. However, my dad has the Patriots winning versus the Lions. I'm just hoping that the defense will be able to stop Bailey Zappi. Okay? I don't know how to actually pronounce his last name, so if I'm pronouncing it wrong, that's just tough. Anyways, next up, we got the Chargers versus the Browns. And the Chargers have been looking very interesting. They've had a lot of injuries. I think Justin Herbert is back. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was back last game, wasn't he? I mean, so I'm sure he'll be playing. They did win last week versus somebody. I think the Texans, maybe. Almost came back. I mean, they were up by like 20-something. And it was like 4 points with 3 minutes left in the fourth. I mean, then they kind of pulled away after that. But it was a close game towards the end of the game. And the Texans came back. I mean, I don't know how the Chargers are going to let that happen. Me personally, I would have just ended the game sooner. Anyways, so they've been looking kind of just inconsistent. You know, you don't know who's going to be hurt. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, they lost the Jaguars pretty badly, then they came back and beat the Texans. I mean, I really just don't know about the Chargers, and I really don't watch them a lot. And same for the Browns. I mean, the Browns have been looking decent. I mean, they've won a couple games. They lost to the Falcons last week. Go Falcons. But that was a close game, and then they lost to the Jets. Super close game. They had like 2 minutes left, and they freaking sold at the end. They were up by like 13 with 2 minutes left, and they just lost somehow. I mean, they've been, I don't know, the end of the games for the Browns has not been looking great. However, they got a game-winning field goal against the Panthers, so I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I really don't watch either of these teams, so I'm gonna give the win to the Browns at home. And then as for my dad, he's gonna give the win to the Chargers going into Cleveland. And yeah, next up we got the Texans versus the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have been looking really, really good. Trevor Lawrence has been looking great. Just the team in general has been looking good. That defense is great. I mean, their linebacker unit, absolutely amazing. And I said that before the season started. Amazing linebacker unit. And then Trevor Lawrence is playing, he's playing good. I really don't like him, man. I really do not like him. But he's playing well. He's playing good. And I just don't see the Texans winning this game. The Texans, I mean, they've been playing good. I mean, they lost to the Chargers last week. Had a decent comeback. I mean, they didn't win, but, you know, it was pretty good. Davis Mills is looking decent. Just, you know, some things they got to work on. They're a young team still, and they got to work on that. Or they got to, you know, they'll gain experience as they get older. Fairly new coach. I mean, they're still working on things, and I think they'll be better as the years goes on. As the years go on, not year, I don't think they're going to do too good for the rest of the year. However, I got the Jaguars winning this one at home, and so does my dad. And next up, we got the Falcons versus the Buccaneers. And man, the Falcons looked great. They've won the last 2 straight. Beat the Seahawks, beat the Browns, lost by 4 points to the Rams. I mean, they haven't been looking bad by any means. So I've really liked how the Falcons have been playing. A really close game versus the Saints. I mean, every game that they've played has either been a win or it has been close. I mean, they are not looking terrible, and they're doing a lot better than I thought they would this year. And so I'm really excited for them coming into this game. And as for the Bucs defense, insane. The Bucs offense, absolutely dog water. I mean, Tom Brady is just not putting points on the board. I mean, he's getting wins, but he lost to the Packers. Who did he play last week? Did he play the Packers last week? Is that who he played? Hold on, no, I'm going to check the schedule. Hold on, did he play the Packers last week? Buccaneers, Bucs. Where are the Bucs? Yeah, they lost. Did they lose or win versus the Chiefs? What was the score to the Chiefs versus Bucs game? Yeah, Chiefs won versus the Bucs, 41-31. And I mean, he put up points in that game. I mean, don't get me wrong, but then the defense gave up 41. So it's like when the offense isn't playing good, the defense is great. I mean, I don't know what to say for this team. They haven't been looking amazing. Offense isn't putting points on the board until last game, and then the defense gave up a whole bunch of points. So the team is looking not amazing. I still trust in Tom Brady to lead them to the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to win this game with how both teams are looking. I mean, the Falcons have momentum right now, and the Bucs just don't. They've lost the last 2 straight, had the hurricane in Florida, so, you know, they've got some problems at home. So, yeah. But next up, we got the Steelers versus the Bills. And the Steelers. Kenny Pickett, starting quarterback. Mr. Small Hands himself. Didn't have an amazing game against whoever they played. I forgot who they played. The Jets. Didn't have an amazing game against the Jets. Threw 2 picks. One of them wasn't really his fault. The second one was on a Hail Mary. So, I mean, I don't know. There might have been a third one. I'm not sure. But, you know, not an amazing performance. Wasn't bad for his debut. So I do have confidence in him to be a good player as his career goes on. But I don't know if I necessarily see him getting a win versus one of the best teams in the league and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, yeah. Kyrie Elam against freaking Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. That'll be cool. That'll be interesting, I guess. Hopefully Kyrie Elam's guarding George Pickens. That'd be really cool. Rookie versus rookie versus rookie. But anyways, so yeah, the Bills have just been looking great. They beat the Ravens by 3 points. Really close game against the Ravens. The Ravens have been looking really good, and they pulled out the dub. So Bills are on fire. Steelers got a rookie new quarterback in his second game. I mean, I'm gonna have to take the Bills here at home, and so is my dad. And yeah, so next up we got the Dolphins versus the Jets. And I don't really know what's happening with Tua. I asked Siri like once or twice on if Tua was going to be playing. I didn't get an answer, and I don't feel like checking ESPN, so I'm going to assume that he is not playing. You know what? Let me just go check. I'll go check ESPN just for you guys. You guys should be proud of me. I'm actually doing research. ESPN.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
See, this is why I don't do it, because it takes forever to freaking load. Okay. Dolphins.
And this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he's out. So Teddy Bridgewater will be in at quarterback. The Jets just came off a huge comeback win against the Steelers. They got Zach Wilson back. Zach Wilson looked really good in that game against the Steelers. And so the Jets have just been looking really good. The Dolphins lost their quarterback. I'm going to have to give the win to the Jets here at home. Really excited for him, or for them. However, my dad is going to give the win to the Dolphins. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Next up, we got the Bears versus the Vikings. And the games that I've watched of the Bears have just not been good. I mean, they're so... I didn't watch last week's game. I forgot who they played. I don't think they won, whoever they played. But I really hate watching their games. They just look awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, they've won some. They have definitely won some, but they just look terrible. And I don't know what to tell you. And then as for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins has been looking pretty good. Justin Jefferson has been looking really good. The run game has been really strong. Just pulled out the win in London against the Saints last week. Probably should have gone to overtime, but double doink by Will Lutz. So that's kind of tough. But yeah, the Vikings got the dub, so that's good for them. Really close game. Had a game-winning drive. I mean, Kirk Cousins is being clutch. I mean, he's not choking. So, I mean, the Vikings have been looking really good. And as for the Bears, I haven't seen anything stand out for them at all. And so I'm going to have to give this one to the Vikings at home. And so is my dad. Next up, we got the Titans versus the Commanders. And neither of these teams have been looking great. I mean, Carson Wentz has been putting points on the board. The Titans defense has been okay. I haven't really watched many of these teams' games. I say Carson Wentz has been putting points on the board, but they did terrible against the Cowboys, the offense. So, I mean, I don't know, just a really inconsistent team. And the Titans are the freaking Titans. Pretty sure the Titans did beat the Colts, though, and the Colts have won the last two, so that's interesting. So, yeah. I really don't know who to give this one to, but in my opinion, if I'm just looking at the teams, I'm taking the Titans. Am I taking the Titans, man? I kind of want to give this one to the Commanders, I'm not going to lie. I kind of do want to give this one to the Commanders. I have it down as the Titans winning. But you know what? I think I'm going to give this one to the Commanders. I want to see the Commanders win. I do. So, yeah, I'm giving this one to the Commanders at home. Yeah. I'm going to get this one wrong, and I'm going to be so mad at myself. But, anyways, Titans lose versus the Commanders at home. And as for my dad, the Titans are going to be winning that game. But, yeah, that's not going to happen. I will personally go to the Titans and tell them to lose, okay? Anyway, Seahawks versus Saints. The Seahawks, who did they play last week? They played somebody, of course. Who did the Seahawks play last week?
First and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Score to the Seahawks game last week. They played the Lions and won by 3. Offense put up 48 points against the worst defense in the NFL. Defense gave up 45 points against the best offense in the NFL. Interesting. They won by 3 against the Lions. I don't really know what to say. Great game from Geno Smith. Great game from the offense. Not so great game from the defense. And the Saints, really good game against the Vikings last week. Andy Dalton should be playing, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to look this one up. You know what? Frick it. No, I'm doing research for you guys. I'm going back to ESPN. We're seeing who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints. Hopefully, Andy Dalton. I'm really banking on the fact that Andy Dalton's going to be starting. Please, 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 please. Yes, Andy Dalton will be starting. That's perfect. Who the frick is Jake Luton? I've never heard of him. Anyways, Andy Dalton will be starting for the Saints. And, yeah, that's cool. But he had a great game against the Vikings in his first game in like 2 years. So I'm really excited for him. And, I mean, yeah, the Saints looked really good against the Vikings. Defense, didn't look amazing. But it was Andy Dalton's first game. So the offense couldn't necessarily put enough points on the board. Will Lutz had to kick a 61-yard kick, and they missed it to send it to overtime. I mean, both teams really did look good in that game, in my opinion. And so I think I got to take the Saints at home just based on how the Seahawks defense played. I really don't know. I don't really watch much of either of these teams. But I think I'm going to have to give the win to the Saints at home. As for my dad, he's going to give the win to the Seahawks going to New Orleans. So, yeah, personal opinion, I guess. Next up, we got the 49ers versus the Panthers. And the 49ers, they beat somebody last week. Now, I'm going to try and think of who they beat. Was it the Rams? It was the Rams. 49ers game last week. It was the Rams. I'm like that. So yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is like 2-1 as the quarterback for the freaking 49ers. So he's looking good. Really like Jimmy Garoppolo. And yeah, just really excited for him. Great quarterback. And as for the Panthers, I mean, Baker Mayfield is not playing. You're putting in Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. I'm pretty sure that's what. You know what? I'll go to ESPN. I'll check. Panthers, what are y'all doing? Carolina Panthers. What's going on? It says Baker Mayfield starting, but I don't trust that. Is Baker Mayfield starting? We're going to say that Baker Mayfield is starting. Okay, I thought Sam Darnold was starting, but we'll say that Baker Mayfield's starting. I really like both quarterbacks. I think they're both really good. But when it comes down to both of their teams and their coaching in general, the 49ers are definitely a way better team. Coaching is a lot better at the 49ers. The team is just generally better. Defense is really good on the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo has some weapons on the 49ers. As for the Panthers, they've just not been looking too good. And I don't put that on Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield hasn't looked amazing. However, it's a new team. And so I'm not going to put all that on him. The coaching hasn't looked great. So, yeah. But, I mean, I really do like the 49ers, and I think I'm going to have to take them with the win against the Panthers here. I do think Baker Mayfield, as long as his coach keeps him in, I think as long as the play calling gets a little bit better, I think the team will definitely get better. I really do like Baker Mayfield, and I think he can definitely form into the quarterback for the Panthers, assuming they don't put Matt Corral over him. But anyways, so yeah, I'm taking Jimmy Garoppolo over Baker Mayfield here. Yeah. And so is my dad. I talked about that for like a while. That was like a 3-minute talk about the 49ers and Panthers, and I didn't really even say anything that important. Anyways, Eagles versus the Cardinals. So yeah, Eagles have been looking absolutely amazing. I don't think they've lost a game yet. Jalen Hurts is looking absolutely insane. A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders. I'm pretty sure that's their running back. Anyways, they've been looking absolutely amazing. One of the best teams in football, obviously, undefeated up to this point, and they're playing the Cardinals, who have not looked amazing in my opinion. I mean, I just don't like Kyler Murray at quarterback. I mean, I know they beat the Panthers last week, and a pretty good game for them, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like Kyler Murray. I don't think he's all that special. And the Eagles playing like they are, I think I'm going to have to give the win to the Eagles going to Arizona. And so, yeah, so is my dad. And on to the next game. Next up, we got the Cowboys versus the Rams. And Cooper Rush, man, I don't think he has lost a game. Honestly, the best Alabama quarterback I've ever seen. Cooper Rush playing absolutely insane, getting wins for his team. I'm not sure if he won last week, but I'm pretty sure he's been winning games for his team. Been looking good. He has been looking good. I'll tell you what, the Cowboys have been looking good with him. Defense has been looking good. And as for the Rams, Matthew Stafford is not playing well. Has like 7 interceptions up to this point in the season. And there's only been like 4 games. So I'm really not liking how Matthew Stafford is playing right now and how the team in general is playing right now. And so I think I'm going to have to give the win to the Cowboys here. And Cooper Rush is just going to be the GOAT for the next 20 years. So, yeah. And so is my dad at Los Angeles. Anyways, next up, we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. And the Bengals playing them right now is the Bills. But anyways, the Bengals have been looking good in the last couple of weeks after the first 2 lackluster games. But they've been getting back on track. Joe Burrow has been looking good. The team has been looking good. Defense been playing well. And as for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, absolutely insane. I know he threw an interception last game against the Bills, but that wasn't really his fault. Got tipped at the line of scrimmage and got picked off late in the game. They ended up losing by 3 to the best team in the league, or one of the best teams in the league. So, I mean, I can't really blame Lamar Jackson for that, especially with the year he's been having. It was in the rain, I think, or it was snowing. It was something like that. And so I can't really blame Lamar Jackson or any of his team. I mean, it was a great game from both teams. Really liked how they played. And just with how the Ravens are playing right now and with how Lamar Jackson's playing right now, I do love the Bengals, and I think they're playing well. But you cannot beat the Ravens right now without, like, just... I mean, that's one of the best teams in the league, and they beat them by 3 on a last-second field goal after a tipped interception. I mean, I'm going to have to give this one to the Ravens. The Bengals are a great team, just not great enough. And, however, my dad is going to give the win to the Bengals, going to Baltimore. And, yeah. Next up, or the final game that we have, is the Raiders versus the Chiefs. And, look, man, it's the Raiders. Derek Carr hasn't been the greatest. The team hasn't looked the greatest. Except for freaking that Holland dude. I don't know if his last name was Holland, but, bro, he's freaking crazy. Did you guys see him last week? Bro was at the goal line, went up for it, pulled it down, and walked off and shrugged his shoulders. Bro is cold like that. Anyways, the Raiders haven't been looking too amazing. I think they're like 2-2 or something, maybe. Scored to the Raiders last game. 32-23, beat the Broncos. I mean, that's October 2nd. Oh, I guess that was the last game. But they're 1-3. I mean, they had to beat the Broncos, who's like the worst team in the NFL right now. I mean, they're just not looking all that great to me. And then the Chiefs just came off a win against the Bucks. You know, Patrick Mahomes is playing at MVP level. The team's looking great. Defense has been pretty good for the Chiefs, I'd have to say. I mean, not absolutely insane, as they gave up 31 points to the Bucks, but still, Chiefs have been looking insane. It's at Kansas City, and so I'm going to have to give the win to the Chiefs at home, and so is my dad. And that will be the end of the video. And if you're looking for where my quarterback rankings is, it's not on there, because I'm tired of doing that crap, because it changes every day. So there's no freaking point. I'll just talk about it in my record predictions. I mean, I've talked about the quarterbacks in literally like every record prediction here. So why make a whole quarterback ranking? It's just a waste of time. And also there's like 16 minutes left before games start, so I'd be a little late making it. So yeah. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.